What's good, everyone? This is Anthony from Avant, and I'm super stoked to be presenting this free episode of BadKlaat's Dubstep Producer's Guide. BadKlaat just dropped his largest sample pack to date, along with his 7-episode Dubstep Producer's Guide, where he'll produce a full track from start to finish and teach you everything along the way. This free episode is really just a small glimpse of what the entire Producer's Guide has in store for y'all. I personally learned so many insane tricks while editing this, and I know you guys are going to love everything that he includes in it. You can grab the sample pack and Producer's Guide exclusively on our website below. So without further ado, let's jump over to BadKlaat and get this free episode started.
So already checked the sides, they're okay. So I think, yeah, next thing to do at this stage maybe, because now we've got the meat of the track down, we can throw on, so I usually just use a G clip. I'll put on the effect rack in the pack, which is the side compression. This is just basically just compressing, multi-band compressing the side signal but not the mono signal, so the sides are just going to be, well, more prominent in the mix, I guess you could say. Sometimes it can be a little bit too much though, so I might end up turning it down here, but yeah, this is just going to give the sides a little bit, it's going to push the sides through a little bit more. And then with our G clip, I think, yeah, usually there's a few different ways that I approach the master, to be honest. I don't do the same thing every time, but I'll either bring down this clip level to kind of chop off all of these like big spikes you can see. You don't really want too many big peaks happening. They're going to limit your ability to make the track really loud in the end. So I'll either pull back this clip knob until it, you know, starts to really cut into the bass. I think we can even go as low as like 60% and it still kind of holds up. And you can see here in the dark grey how much we're actually removing from the signal. And if you notice, if I turn it on and off, it's not changing the volume at all. But what you will notice is if I switch to the mixer and you look at the master channel, if I turn it on, the loudest that it gets right now is -4.44. It's not going to go above that, but if I turn it off and it won't sound any different. We're clipping by like 3 decibels, but we're not clipping loud enough with the parts we want to actually be loud. It's just like the drum transients and all of the things that have summed together, all those big spikes, they're what are hitting the master first. So yeah, I'll either bring down the clip amount or just push the gain into the clipper, which essentially does the same thing, but now we are going to hear a volume change as we're turning up the gain. But same thing, I'll just push the gain into the clipper until I see that we're chopping off a decent amount of those spikes that we don't want and not completely ruining the mix. So I think the problem with this now is that it just doesn't, it's not, I think it's really mono. No, it's not really mono, but it just needs some kind of tonality. Maybe I could turn the corpus back on. I'm not sure. What about that other layer that we had here? Would that potentially work? One thing you will notice by now probably is that I don't really do things in like, I won't do the drums and then move on and do everything in one section. I kind of it's just a mishmash of a little bit of everything as I'm going. So like I'll be on the master 1 second doing the gain, and then I'll realize, oh, I don't like that clap, so I'll go and change the clap, and like kind of, yeah, things are just very sporadic, I guess, but it will make sense in the end. So let me see if I can get this to work with this new thing. Feel like it might. What if we don't have that kick there? Boom, 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 boom. Cool. See if that works. I think if we were to distort this, what if I grab, let's grab an EQ. Maybe do a really massive boost and then throw an amp after it. Yep. There's a lot of white noise in it. Yeah, let me grab another EQ after this amp. Ooh. I'm not really interested in too much of that noise. I more just want this tone here. Let's get rid of the low end too, we don't need that. Let's go back to this clipper. Maybe I don't think we've controlled the mix enough yet to be pushing it that hard. I'm gonna play it through as well, actually, from here. I'm just gonna watch on span and see if anything catches my eye. Yeah, this peak here is way too loud. Let's turn that down. There's a horrible spike as well. Right here on that sound. Is it this one? No. It's this. Oh, look at that. Right, let's clean that up. Just chuck an EQ here. What I'm looking for on span is more of a smoother kind of response than this. Like this looks very, like we've got a huge peak at 10k here, which or just after 10k, maybe 11k, which is where our hats and stuff are going to be sat. So we don't want a lot of hiss coming from our basses here. And if things are really kind of, I don't know, bumpy like this or peaky, things aren't going to sound too great to it ear. So I'm going to try and balance this out. So I think we can probably get rid of everything above 10k anyway. And then we've got a lot of stuff on the sides here. I'm just going to do some mid-side EQ. So I put this on mid-side mode, put it on sides, and then I'm just going to get rid of this orange. You can see here. And this here too. And then maybe in the middle, or mono, so see how that looks a little bit smoother now. It isn't so kind of, if I group these two things together, turn them off, like how bad that sounds now. So let's, and this is why span's really helpful, because if you're listening to this for an hour or 2 or 3, or you're listening to whatever you're making for a long period of time, your ears kind of get used to it, and you start to not realize maybe you might have a ton more high end than you need in something, or yeah, your ears start to get used to whatever you're listening to. So I find this really helpful, just to kind of show me visually what I'm hearing, if that makes sense. I still think this could be a little bit more weird. Maybe Dubstep is a good plugin, and it's also free, I believe. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to save this though, because sometimes this does crash Ableton, unfortunately. This is also really wide. Let's do some mid-side EQ on this too. Let me grab up span, and then yeah, it's really, really wide. What? In fact, you know what? Because it's so equally wider kind of across the spectrum, instead of doing any specific mid-side EQ in any specific area, I'm just gonna grab a utility and bring the side level down. And then maybe around here I might actually do a little bit of mid-side EQ, just to get rid of that kind of muddiness down there. It's a bit more like it. Now there's like a drop in energy where this part doesn't sound anywhere near as, doesn't have the same amount of high end. So maybe we could bring some of this back in. Let's try a hybrid reverb on this kind of tonal percussive thing. I'm also tempted to just throw a bit of an EQ on here and take out around kind of 2 to 5k where the presence of the mids is. So the mids can kind of take the space in this pocket here. This clap also sounds really dry, so let's throw a reverb on there. No, I still hate this hiss. Let's also chuck in here in the background, just like a high, like string kind of sound, or not even a string, just a saw wave, but just like a high sustained note. So we're in E. Let's do like a bit of a thing like that. Maybe we could do that reverb thing as well, like all the way dry wet. Kind of really put it in the background. Let's try throwing that in. Well, we could even try going like a fifth up from E, which would be 7 semitones. Maybe an octave higher, might be a bit too high. Maybe not, and then just bring it right down. I'm tempted to just get rid of this drop, you know. I don't like this switch at all. I think we can maybe turn that into something else. I think actually this should continue. Yeah, let's do something about this now. Let's grab this 8 bars. Maybe this can work, but I don't think there. We'll actually just have this run for 16 bars. I'm gonna need to get rid of this now. Maybe let's not have it filter away until the switch actually comes. That thing needs to be a lot quieter as well. Just putting a low pass on the background effects group, just so there's, I don't really want anything above 10k except the hats and stuff. Yeah, here the flow definitely needs to carry on the way it is, but I think there does need to be a change in timbre. So let's duplicate this, delete it from there and from there. So we've got a variation of what's already happening basically, and then we'll just try and change something in here. Maybe turn off the turn off the grain delay effect rack maybe, or the corpus. Let's see if losing the tonality does anything. Let's copy this second or third 8 bars over. So then we've got this 16 bars that way, and then second 16 bars we've got a change in drums and a bit of a switch. It's not absolutely necessary. In fact, I rarely change the drums in the first drop or the second drop, to be honest, but for the purposes of the video we will. I guess we could start building on the intro and like a build up to the drop. So
now that BadKlaat is overall happy with his intro and mix, and even though these things may change, this is a great time to start building his intro and build up. That's what he'll be covering in the next episode, and if you want to check the full producer's guide, definitely grab it below. I hope you guys enjoyed this free episode, and I hope you guys learned some things along the way, so I'll see you next time. Peace.